Welcome to Talking Tech with Creative Squad podcast, a podcast diving deep into the intersection of technology and creativity. I'm Stella One. Join me as renowned experts from creative industry share their innovative journeys, great tips, and insights. As an author with a passion for food, culture, and tech, I've always believed in the transformative power of technology. My guest today is Ana Araque, founder of Imagine Experiences. Ana is someone that I find fascinating as she has got over 20 years background in hospitality and she's full of fresh energy. She found Imagine Experiences in 2020 during COVID. She's a brave woman. She's going to tell us all about it. And she offers personalized tours of the immersive experience where you could be James Bond for the day and you can do the view from the Shard. A lot of you, if you don't know the Shard, it's a big landmark in London. You can go and do a Google and you see it's a fascinating building. Then we have the big bus tours, Intercontinental and City Tour of London. Ana is going to tell us more. Past clients include Jeff Wayne of War of the Worlds. So, Ana, thanks for coming today. Can you
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what started you on your journey?
Okay, so you're talking about the Imagine Experiences journey, or you're talking about my journey in the industry?
Your journey, and then lead us into Imagine Experiences.
One of those. So you know what? I started my journey in hotels, Stella. I literally finished I moved to the UK many years ago, too many to remember. And then I started to do my master's, and then I started to look into brands, into what I wanted to do. And one of the things that I remember was when I was going either for journalism and marketing or tourism. I wanted to do both. So I said, oh my God, how can I combine? I said, so I'm going to do marketing for tourism. So literally I started working with hotels. I started my career in a small hotel in London, and I moved to Hilton, then I moved to Intercontinental. Then I decided one day I woke up and I say, I'm going to be on the black side, which is tour operators, the people that buy those products.
Products.
And then I said, I'm going to launch something that is new, that is. And then that's why I was invited very, very kindly by the team at the Shard to join the pioneer team that launched the product in 2012. And then I decided to stick around with the attractions. It was that really interesting time when people start moving to what it is that they do when they're in a destination. A hotel is great, but how it's the whole understanding of travel for consumers changed.
Yes.
Don't ask me when. I think it was, I'm one of those that saw the .com revolution when last minute launched, and the Expedia and Google, and I have that incredible pleasure to have seen how the industry has evolved. And I always said, Anna, what do you when you're in parties and you are with your friends and everybody's like, how exciting. So people said, yesterday I changed a friend of mine, he owns a garage. I just changed a bulb in the light, and I just visited that incredible hotel somewhere in the middle of that. So I just love that what we do, my colleagues and I in my industry, take care of people's good times.
Sounds fascinating, yes. Wow. So you you said the industry has changed because we're talking about personalization now, isn't it? So we're talking about personal experiences now.
Among others.
Wow. So I kind of like the way, because tell us a bit more about Imagine Experiences before we even go on, so that the audience can understand what Imagine Experiences is.
So Imagine Experiences, it's everybody says, the billboard. You have to say short. We create unique experiences you cannot find anywhere else.
Wow.
We were born as a reaction to the increasing demand from consumers for more experiential travel products
Mm-hmm.
as opposed as passive existing tours at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We were born during the pandemic. We used to say we were born as a reaction to the pandemic. It could be. It felt like at the time.
Yeah.
It felt like a new generation of entertainment needed to be born.
Mm-hmm.
First, to reconnect people, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
people were missing.
Yes.
People were at home just making a long list of all the things they're going to do when they're allowed to go out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in our side, we decided, okay, so we had something that we never had before. If you work in this industry, you never take time off. We had time.
Yes, of course.
We thought, are we going to stay at home and feeling sorry for ourselves, or are we going to go out there and do that thing that we always wanted to do and change the industry, or try to change the industry, trying to it wasn't like, oh, I just wake up and I just realized that through my experience. I was consulting at the time. I was a
Mm-hmm.
consultant for a number of
Mm-hmm.
brands,
Mm-hmm.
pioneers, cutting edge, avant-garde brands like
Mm-hmm.
Layer
Mm-hmm.
Reality, launching, they started a proof of concept called Somnia. I know who you've been sleeping with,
Ooh.
and all sorts of things. So
So ideas.
you could feel that people were looking out there. Secret cinema was already out there making the highlights, and people were falling in love
Wow.
with it. But if you
Mm-hmm.
would ask anyone outside the M25 about secret cinema, nobody knew what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think I was consulting with another company that was actually making those productions. And I realized after the pandemic, all these people were shut down, the Gump and the Plot, the War of the Worlds. And I was like, what are we going to do? We need to continue. The show has to carry on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the first thing we're going to do is who are in the UK? The British.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is wherever they live.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get the British to fall in love again of their own backyards.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to tell the untold stories. We're going to divert, we call it tourism. We're going to divert people from the aisle where the bride walks, which is absolutely nothing against the Big Ben and Buckingham Palace and the Abbey. But there is so much more about London.
So much more.
That especially for those that have been either living all their life here, those were the ones that would like, oh my God, if we get the locals to fall in love of their own backyards,
yes,
then the visitors will fall in love too. And their own backyard usually starts by their own stories. What it is that is intergenerational, make us happy, will never die, make us feel.
It's true. It's true.
Yes. And I learned already from my previous experiences at working with the War of the Worlds and the Gump and the Plot, that people do not want it to be told where a film was made. Film locations I saw yesterday. People want to be in the film.
Yes.
People want to
I want to be in
the film.
I want to be part of it.
What is that? Is that, the and you go back and you said, immersive was always there. Every time me, my girlfriends, yours, dress as a fancy dress to go on a hen party, or we wanted to be Grease, the girl. We want the tight trousers.
It's
we
true.
want to be Aneta from ABBA. We want to be those people.
It's true.
So
you want to be in character.
Exactly. You want to, and you know what? You see people on the Insta moments now. Obviously, social media has become an incredible stage where
entertainment.
those moments.
Absolutely.
And then having the stage obviously motivated the need to having the play. And the consumers needed to go out and play.
Yes.
Not play following a guy that's going to tell you that, I don't know, in 1759, John Foster, the architect.
Too dry. It's too dry. You want to be part of it. You want to be immersive.
What? And I remember Visit Britain launched in 2018, just before the pandemic, a campaign that said, what do you travel for? And people said, food, this, drink. And I said, I travel because I want to live. I travel because I build memories. Every time I see those photos, I go back and revisit that
Your
good time
memories of
because
those
I want to
times.
share. And I think it's been as well, people have attribute the experience revolution, let's call it, to the Gen Zs. And it's just that the Gen Zs have a more instant sense of living now.
They do,
But
they do.
yeah, they do. But
They do.
what is incredible is that all my customers are over 30, 35. My customers said, we are, doesn't matter what age we are, we still want to live now.
Ooh.
Exactly. So we had a number of colleagues that it was that, you know what, in a sense, we were extremely lucky, Stella, because it was the amazing amount of talent sitting at home bored doing nothing, and we just literally went around talking to tourist guides. What are you doing, guys? I said, could you give us a list of all the tours that you have always wanted to do, but those 20 years ago outdated tour operators have not allowed you to do? Oh, and can we do a tour of the food of the West End? Yes.
Ooh, I'd
Can we
love
do a
that.
tour? Can we do a tour food of the because yes, Borough Market was a landmark, but by
Yes.
turning it into a tour, making it a story.
Yes.
And I think something that the pandemic as well did is was just engraving or making emotions a lot more important in everything that we do. What it was a family dinner in 2017. Oh, here they come again. 17.
But now,
17,
yeah.
13 cup of teas. Now it's like family is coming. I think we all learn to appreciate the moments with those that we love a lot more. So I think Imagine Experiences came in a time where we were prepared to not being a part of a big coach. I don't want to be a number. I want to be me. I
You
want
want to be
somebody
part
that,
of it,
yeah,
yes.
I want somebody that think about what I like, or what my mom like, or what my boyfriend like.
Yes, yes,
I want to, every moment counts and is important. So I got to make it count.
yes.
So we said, you know what, and I have to admit it, I'm a big fan of James Bond. James Bond.
Shaking not
So
stirred.
shaking on stir. And we
Shaking not
said,
stirred.
would you like to be James Bond for one day?
Yes.
Yes, and you know what? We launched the company in August 2020, Stella.
Wow.
30 days later, very little we knew that Boris Johnson's going to shut us down. And then we went and started to advertise gift vouchers in our website. And we went to work with a great reseller called Virgin Experiences.
Yes, I know that. Yeah.
And then at the end of December, we have sold so many vouchers, and we saw who would like to buy a tour that has never run. And then
Wow.
we knew that the appetite was there. And after James Bond today, we went for Soho Music Experience, then we went for the
Ooh.
Exotic Stand,
Ooh.
and then City of Spies, and then one came after the other. And you know
Wow.
what? We started to realize that it was almost like cooking. It was adding every time we cook a new dish, we
Ingredients.
experimenting with a new ingredient. That's how it was.
And now we want to come to where the technology works with it now. So tell us about your typical merging of technology with your tour.
So do you remember we were talking at the beginning about the so fast and evolving pace? It's so fast that you turn around. Sometimes I'm scared. I'm going to go on holiday for a month, and when I come back, something new has happened and I missed it. That's how it has been. Even if we engage on a partnership with a fantastic company called Otura, which is the people behind self-driving buses, self-driving cars, self-driving tours in San Francisco. And what we thought is we saw a trend in which, for example, only in 2023 we had most of 40%, over 40% of all our bookings were people wanted to book a private tour. They didn't want to share. Never mind being in a
Want to
coach with 20,
share
with 30 people. That is so yesterday.
private. Wow.
Forget the coaches. Don't put me in a coach.
Mm-hmm.
The buses that you get on and get off, that's great. That show you the
Yes.
city. But
Yes.
that will only show you the city when you are first time in the city.
Mm-hmm.
London is one of those that everyone would have visited at least once.
Yes.
And those were our customers. I've been 3-4 times in London. I want the new stories. I want the new food.
Yes.
I
You want to
want
immerse
I
yourself
want to
into London.
feel that taste of colors of the city
Mm-hmm.
with so many languages. I call
Mm-hmm.
it the Babel Tower.
Yeah.
And then we literally thought, how can we increase or improve the experience of our customers? Always looking to do it better. The
Yeah.
first one I noticed was the gene tour. I noticed the guide arriving into the bar. There was 4 or 5 really historical, incredible pubs that describe the story of the very, very dodgy story of the British drinking gin for 600 years.
Yeah.
A lovely story, though.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. And the gin craze, when that woman killed her child to sell clothes so she could drink gin. So it's a lot of
Oh.
drama, it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun,
So kind of,
comedy,
was it East End?
good.
Was it from the East End? I'm trying to remember. What was it?
It was 1759. I think it was around Whitechapel
Yes, that's the East.
kind of
Yeah, I thought it
area,
was
yeah.
East End. Yeah. So
So
historical.
and there is a character called Tom Cat, which is known as the first vending machine in history, where you could put a coin in the mouth and the cat will drop you a gin, because this Irishman came back from war,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Penniless and desperate for something
And
to do,
and
and found a loophole in the law. No person is allowed to sell gin on the street. He said, "This is not a person; it's a cat." So, and you couldn't do anything to him. And every time you go, puss, 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 in London, you knew they were selling gin around the corner. So it was those really, really
kind of
incredible stories
yeah.
embedded on the almost I don't know. I said the habits of the Brits,
Yes.
right? Idiosyncrasies, that's the one. And then I noticed that they didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay for another drink.
Wow.
Why now? Because we have to be in the next pub in half an hour. So it was almost martial. Like, you have to be. These guys are fly all over the world. Some of them from 8 hours from Canada, 10 hours from China.
And they wanted this
afternoon.
experience. They wanted it. They were immersed in it.
Yeah, I remember that lady saying, "Can I try the gin gria, which is a cocktail made of gin and sangria, the Viaduct pub, which has a prison downstairs." No, we have to go. So we created self-guided audio. We already make a departure of your traditional self-guided audios. Traditional self-guided audios, you connect it. Here we go. Step 1, part 1. Stella was born in 1995.
So you're listening to it.
Yeah, yes. It's that, we already removed that part. We already created, we gave Cat, that famous cat that was on the wall dispensing gin, gave him a life. He's got 7 lives. That's why he's still alive after 700 years. We gave him, he tell you, that's the thing with cats. You see, nobody look at us, but we look at everyone. So we know everything that happens.
Yeah.
The cat is hilarious. The cat, he's a bit of a sarcastic, but he's your friend. He's going to tell you how to speak to the barman, how to ask for the right gin. He's there with you.
Okay.
And most important, the cat talks to you like he's now alive in 2023.
Wow.
The cat tells you that don't be under no illusion, ladies and gentlemen. The East India Company in the 18th century was more powerful than Amazon or Google.
So you're listening to this now.
Yes.
This is audio experience.
Audio experience. And then we realized that it wasn't moving. The cat doesn't move. We need the cat to be alive.
Yes.
And so what we do, and at the same time, we start looking at the fact that a lot more and more people are actually even paying for 6 or 8 people so they could have their own tour. Our tours are up to 8 people, and we see people booking 6 or 8, asking us, "What's the total of the tour? How we make it our own? How we make it our own?" So we said, okay, we need to make sure that we control the cost. that we are able to provide something that is incredible, engaging, but doesn't people without having to break people's back. And that's we started to engage with. Started to work in a brand called Characters. And we engage with the right people, like I said, with Otura, and we're starting to work in Characters. Characters are not AI guides. Characters are a character that is going to take care of a number of areas during your journey in that experience.
Wow, that's incredible. So you were talking about, when you were talking about James Bond and Miss Moneypenny. So I think, and you talked about was it what's her writer? Emma. The one that wrote
Oh,
Pride of
absolutely.
Jane
Pride
Austen.
of Jane Austen and
Yes,
Mary
you were talking
Shelley.
about how so
Absolutely.
it's almost like you're in one experience and then you go into the immersive experience, you go into the guide, and then so can you just talk us through how that works?
So we thought, and everybody says, Anna, you hate walking tours. No, I just, why don't you like coach tours? Well,
Yes.
I said, I just don't like too many people in the
Yes.
same place, lacking
Yes.
personalization, losing part of the storytelling. I don't like clients to be educated. They need to be entertained.
Yes.
So our tours always, so we learn about something we call the electrocardiogram. That's that point where you got the stats and the stats
Yes.
hit the biggest, the highest peak.
Yeah.
All our tours have a number of ingredients and elements that take you through that journey. And we thought, how we do to start that electrocardiogram a little bit early. So obviously, having being James Bond for day, we've got now 3 or 4. We've said we're going to launch a new James Bond, right? The new James Bond is actually available for sale in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
But we still have to. What's the character that reflects most support and help and the love of James Bond? And then we created a character called Miss Moneypenny.
Miss Moneypenny.
When our customers made the booking for Bond 2 months, 3 months in advance, 2 weeks in advance, 2 days in advance, they get to download the app of Miss Moneypenny and engage with Miss Moneypenny in all areas that, Miss Moneypenny, is my flight going to be late? What you think of London? What do I missing? What do I eat? And Miss Moneypenny, and you started to engage in their emotional relationship with Miss Moneypenny.
Even before the experience.
Even before the experience arrived. It might be that Miss Moneypenny do not deliver any form of guidance to you. But in this particular case, we're launching the Mission Serpent, which is our customers are going to get the keys of an Aston Martin in Edinburgh.
Ooh,
and they're
I want that.
all around. Exactly. And Miss Moneypenny is going to be your GPS.
Ooh.
She's even going to tell you where to stop for the best hot coffee on the way, how to get the best cup of tea, how to get the best Instagram image when you make your way to Glencoe. When you get to Glencoe, you have a guide that's going to take you around Glencoe. We call it the Skyfall House, which technically does not exist. And he's going to tell you how to shoot rifle. You're going to shoot with him. So all our tours are hybrid. They know a walking tour or a coach tour or a meal. They have everything on it.
Wow. And that is personalized for one person. That's incredible.
Hybrid, absolutely hybrid. And do it in a way that, because we manage those ingredients to take care of themselves, having the customer driving his own Aston Martin actually save us money instead of being an expense.
And it's a few hours, isn't it? How many hours is it? Your typical tour?
This is going to be a brand new experiment for us. We partner as well with an incredible DMC. DMC stands for Destination Management Companies, which are tourist companies based in one country, experts on particular destinations. So we're working with a company called Angela Shanley Associates, which have been around for 45 years delivering tours to a number of people, and they're going to take care of the overnight.
Yeah.
So once the guide arrives with the customers at the hotel after the visit to the Skyfall House, they're going to have a local produced lunch with Scottish salmon, a glass of bubbly.
Ooh, oh my
And then
God.
they're going to go off
I'm
to their
already.
rooms. I know.
I'm already.
We need to go, you and me, Stella. You drive, though. You drive. And then,
I'll drive the Aston Martin.
It's that sense of, we're not just showcasing James Bond, we're showcasing Scotland and all the beautiful cheeses and food that is to there. So they can have that little piece of the destination, and we're telling a story through the food. And then they go upstairs, they check in their hotel, which again it's linked to the story. And they're going to get dressed. We encourage our customers. We didn't do it at the beginning, but our customers keep asking, shall I wear a tuxedo? Shall I wear?
Of course, I do want to dress up. I want to be part of it. Yeah.
And now you see all our customers wearing tuxedos and being Bond girls. And so in this particular one, we encourage them to dress for dinner. They're going to come down, and of course they're going to have a Vespa, which is the only woman James Bond has ever loved, which is Vespa Lind, and it's a martini shaking monster as an aperitif, sitting in there in the Scottish setting. And then they're going to have dinner with the favorite dishes of Ian Fleming, the author.
That sounds awesome.
They stay overnight and then drive back, where we're waiting for them at the Scotsman Hotel in Edinburgh for a surprise. The Scotsman used to be the head office of a very famous newspaper called the Scotsman, and has a private Art Deco cinema where our customers are going to watch a James Bond movie, have lunch after their experience the day before. So
sounds fantastic.
It's about making sure that when they come back, that is the memory, right?
That's fantastic.
Of course, right after 2 weeks after, they're going to have Miss Moneypenny in their app. How did it went, James? In this particular one, she speaks like James. If you want, I can do a demo for you. And then 2 weeks. Then after they keep the app 2 weeks after the experience.
Okay.
And then they say goodbye to Miss Moneypenny and into the next experience.
That is fantastic.
What you mentioned earlier was Mary Shelley Frankenstein. In that particular one, again, we took a next step. In this particular one, Mary Shelley is the author of Frankenstein and Jane Austen, actually live guide on AI. We brought them back to life. We give them a voice.
Mary Shelley, Frankenstein will be so scary.
I know.
I'll go for Jane Austen.
We're saying.
Oh my God, Frankenstein!
You brought back to life Frankenstein and tried to give him a soul. We are bringing you back to life and giving you a soul. So they're going to show you their city together with a Roman soldier that speaks Latin at the back.
It sounds fantastic.
And then they're going to tell you, stop in there, and they're going to tell you about their lives and how things were so different for them. And they're going to drop you at the gates of the Frankenstein Museum with a real life guide is going to show you around, and you have to find your way in an escape room, and you end up having afternoon tea at the City Bar Country Hotel. So you have a bit of everything. You have a real guide, you have storage, you got museums, you got food, you got
everything, all of
those things packed in 6 hours of lobby.
Oh my God, that is a rich experience.
Up to 6 people.
That is a rich experience. That's a rich experience. So we kind of like you were at WTM, World Trade Markets, and we could see that there's going to be changes in tourism in the future of tourism. What do you think is going to be the future of tourism? Looking at what we discovered, what we know now.
Do you know what, Stella? It's such an incredible question, because I first I'm a half full glass person. First, let's congratulate World Travel Market and the people who organized the technology summit.
Yes,
it
was
hasn't
fantastic.
been such an incredible attendance and interest on technology in travel ever before. To say that 5 years ago, an AI conference have 3 people attended, I was one of those, sitting in a room for 80 chairs. me and the two people, and I actually thought if I missed
Oh
the
no.
time, or I was on the wrong one, or it's later, or it's been cancelled. There's no one there. And then VR was in there for a long
It
time, and
was,
people looking
yes.
at things of VR. What happened, however, with VR is that it makes it very difficult to get it out of your house. You have to be in a venue. So it's
Yes.
fantastic to
Yes. Just wearing
recreate
the goggle, yeah.
recreate a feeling, a sense, a smell when you are within a venue. But when you step out of that venue, it got to be something that pick up that memory, right? AI does
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, my view as well on VR is that you get into a different world and you get out of those around you. Well, I actually would like to see my mom having a laugh while she listens to Jane Austen, and I might
Yes.
miss that if I'm behind the camera,
Yes.
engaged in an alternative world. So that's
It's
my
true. Yeah.
concern with VR,
VR is true.
especially post-pandemic.
Yes.
So you are in there with those incredible. It's absolutely no shred of doubt that in the word immersive have taken the world by storm, and
Mm.
people have learned is a new concept. But
Yes.
then you walk down the corridor,
Mm-hmm.
had incredible conversations at World Travel Market with
Mm-hmm.
countries like India, Africa, wanted to showcase um, um, their beauty, their food, what they
Mm-hmm.
have, their nature
Mm-hmm.
through technology, using
Yeah.
technology as a tool to enhance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you walk and you see that there is a great deal of numbers of coach tour operators and same tour operators and
Mm-hmm.
same destinations
Mm-hmm.
that do absolutely do not get that. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I think there is already a great deal of incentive and a great deal of movement,
Mm-hmm.
advance in all. I wouldn't call it old fashioned. I would say traditional tour
Mm-hmm.
operators
Mm-hmm.
that think, you know what, I've been selling the same Cosworth tour
Mm-hmm.
for 25 years. What would I change it? What trying I fix something that is not broken? He
Yeah.
said maybe because you know we need to listen to the consumers. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean they don't want to go to Cosworth. It means they want
Mm-hmm.
to go maybe in a different way.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely. Just a different kind of way
yes, you
of
cannot
delivery. Yeah.
take a person, put in a coach, and everybody's like, oh, those guides feel threatened. But actually, no, my guides are absolutely engaged. They are the ones creating those stories. When we go, our original first ever created James Bond for Day, our customers go to central London to see Q, and they shoot
Ooh, I like
300
you. I
rounds of
like
water
you.
PPK.
Ooh,
I like
ooh.
you, especially the Q from National Portrait Gallery.
Yeah.
And then the guide said it's nice to see them doing something else, no having the weight of us carrying the story,
Yeah.
oh, why nobody's listening to me,
So
why
it's
nobody's
interactive.
laughing.
So
Yes,
it's interactive. It's interactive. That's what people
we
want.
want to host a group, we don't want
Mm-hmm.
to control a group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think a new generation of guides as well are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just AI guides, a new
Mm-hmm.
generation of human guides that want to
Mm-hmm.
do things differently are actually coming out.
That's incredible.
They want to use that tech to make it, for
Mm-hmm.
example, they want to interact. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
said, Anna, can we there is one of my favorite top star guys that wrote the most incredible Jack the Ripper story. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, I'm going to call the detective that didn't arrest Jack the Ripper with your name. He says, yes, clone me. I want to be there. And when people arrive, I'm going to tell them it's been a murder. And I'm going to do it with Scottish accent. And he says, it's going to be great because he says, I can see myself delivering 2 Jack the Rippers a day. But if we have an AI guide, but if we have an AI guide, we can deliver 8, 9 personally to each person at his own time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So those guys that get entertainment, and because we're not never going to be just an AI guy, we are characters. That's what I love to call them, characters.
Yeah, so I
And
like
not
that. So it's
AI guys.
characters.
Yes.
So when you say, because I just wanted to kind of like for the audience to know, WTM is World Trade Markets. So World Trade Markets is
World
a
Travel
kind of
Market.
World Travel Market. I keep calling World Trade Market. World Travel Market, WTM, was absolutely fascinating. It's my first time to attend this year. It's in London. It took place in London, and you had countries all over the world showcasing their tourism and technology to go with that. It's just a mind-blowing experience. And if you have the chance next year, it was in November, so I think it takes place in November each year. And I think I told it's been going on for many years, hasn't it?
It's been going on for over 20 years,
So
and it is the second most important travel trade show in the world, and it's an incredible gathering. It's always happen on the first week of November or the second,
first week or second week of November.
and because it prepares us for the season.
And it's fantastic.
In the next summer season, that's where all the products get released. That's where everybody brings the best that they can offer, and it's the most incredible showcasing of every culture. I absolutely love it.
It was, in fact, I was there for the 3 days. I went for every day for 3 days and attended a lot of the conferences, a lot of the talks, and looked at a lot of the stalls, countries all over the world, Africa, Middle East, everywhere, Asia.
Everyone makes such an effort to show the best that they have. That is incredible. It's almost emotional.
Yes, I'm going to be posting lots of photos on Instagram. So my personal Instagram, I'll put that on the show notes. And talking with creatives as well, I'll put some things on the Instagram account so that you can see a bit of what that offered. I was transported by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia was mind-blowing this year, with what they did.
They've got so much going on, so much, and they are embracing technology.
They are embracing it, yes. They're spending a lot of money.
You know what? We are using it in a way to enhance the experience itself, to add value without adding cost.
Yes. Which is smart.
And everybody said, do you know what? If the enhancement and the incredible feeling to get to know those characters and the real stories, and the emotion. For example, we're doing one with Alan Turing, the guy behind Enigma.
Yes.
And how the period that he had to live, he could never say, you know what, I am gay, that's who I am. And being able to give the opportunity to those characters to tell the story they would have hypothetically tell. We're not them. We try to do the best that we can.
Yes.
I still will do it, even if it was an extra cost. But as it happens, it's actually a support.
Yes.
And it's give personalization. It give with less cost the opportunity to a family to enjoy something private.
And did you mention that they can do it in different languages?
That's the next one, and I don't know why I keep forgetting, because
that's my incredible
favorite. So you know, when you go to another country and you take a tour, and there is elements that, even if you plug in and you get in your language, elements that you're going to miss,
yes,
things that you might know. Most important, being afraid of getting to that city, being afraid of where to go, what to do. You're going to be able to download the QR code with a character that you might love, because who doesn't love Miss Moneypenny?
Of course.
And being able to speak in your language and tell you, sorry, James, but I think you're going to miss your flight if you don't hurry up.
And in your own language.
In your own language. And it's
so
so good.
It won't be all the languages. I don't know how many languages can translate 17. To. So in 17 languages, yes. 17 main languages.
Main languages. And what's more important is we're going to try to keep the essence of their accents and their origins and their profile. So, for instance, Miss Moneypenny will be speaking. I've seen it. I speak French and Spanish, and I hear Miss Moneypenny speaking Spanish and French, and she does it with a British posh accent.
Wow.
which is just the beauty of that.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
That character is going to be your support. It's going to tell you you're late, take the next. If you're going to be late, take the exit 2 in Piccadilly Circus Station so you get to the right. So it's your guide, but the guide that you carry with you. It's a friend because you can ask her. I just learned to have that personal relationship with Miss Moneypenny. Miss Moneypenny, why shaking on stir? And I got the story. It has nothing to do with this. It's totally different story. But we deliver trivia.
Yeah.
We deliver, and then what we usually do, which we tell people, is like, come back to your friends and tell those trivia stories at your parties and shine and you know.
Mhm.
And what is more incredible is that we are on the way to launch by there is that conference that definitely you should attend and you
Mhm.
should be part of it. It's called Arrival, that compiles all the people that create experiences around the world.
Mhm. Mhm.
And by Arrival in March, it's going to happen on the 2nd to the 6th of
Is
March.
that the one that you said is it in Berlin or where is it?
It's in Berlin. It's
Yeah.
two events happen in Berlin.
Mhm.
One is the Arrival conference at the very
Mhm.
beginning of the
Mhm.
week. And right after, when Arrival conference ends, you
Mhm.
have ITB, which is the biggest travel trade show. I told you WTM is the second, ITB is the biggest, International Travel Business. But Arrival, which is what I found the more beneficial, is that it's just experiences. So we focus on the subject, practices that are relevant just
around
to us.
experiences.
And we have the challenge to, we set up ourselves a challenge to have 24 products and about 12 characters live by then.
By then.
So
And
yeah.
Yeah, good. Finish.
We're working on, for example, we're preparing wine trail in Kent, where you're going to visit a number of wineries. And the mix of them are a family that make a lot of effort to stay in business during COVID. A big, nice brand that have all whistles and sing and songs. But most important, you're going to be taken around by a monk. Is a monk that lived in 17th century in Kent. We took it from the story of Dom Perignon, that was a French monk that did not invent champagne, but step into it. He was shaking the bottles all night because he was falling asleep, so he was trying to make it immature fast, and then all of a sudden they start popping.
It popped, wow, and champagne was born.
Champagne was born out of an effect, right? So we saw is a friend, and you know what? It's always been a strong relationship between those monasteries. Crafting spirits and wine and drinks. So we're going to have.
They have time. They have time to craft it.
Yes, exactly. They are booze makers, and we're going to have a Bertie the cow in Scotland, an Aberdeen cow. So
you've got a lot coming on. Wow,
a lot going on, and we're just going to absolutely, we're going to step into brands like the Wizards, the famous Wizard that nobody talks about in London, but nobody knows who he is. And so it should be very, very exciting.
Okay, fantastic. So because we're winding out slowly now, so I wanted to ask, because it's a business, and when it comes to businesses, you have the good things and you have the not so good. So how do you deal with how do you work around frustrations in the business, challenges, let's say, in the business?
Do you know what? I do have an incredible team. And I do not work with people to tell them what to do. I work with them to tell me what to do. So when I'm about to face a challenge, I ask my team.
Fantastic.
And 99.9% of the time, they have the answer.
Fantastic.
And 99.9% of the time is the right answer.
Yes, that's good. So just having the right team around you.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I do not panic because I know they'll know what to do.
Do you know something? I just thought about when we're talking about the experiences, I thought about two that I would love. The book I'm writing at the moment is set in hotels. That's why I got into this, and I didn't know that it was it's incredible.
You have to have an absolute conversation. The story in the hotels are
I can't wait. So I was thinking about an experience around jewelries and an experience around fashion. Because people like me, I like jewelries and I like fashion. So who knows? Kind of like I love, like where you can go.
We have talked about it. And there is a company that I happen to know the owner is a fantastic lady that knows everything there is to know about jewelry. And you can actually pay to hire a necklace.
You see,
And
there you
I've
go.
been meant to speak to her about allowing our customers to wear something
I
incredible.
would
I've
love
done it
that.
myself. I absolutely advise you to try. It's like, you know, you
see?
just you feel like Pretty Woman for one night.
Wow.
Wearing that piece of jewelry that I could possibly never ever afford in my life, but in that moment,
You
I
felt,
am Pretty
you
Woman.
felt, yes, yes.
And yes, definitely, we're working on a experience called Ladies and Gentlemen's Shopping.
Ooh, ooh.
Because funny enough, we have an experience called Essential Bond
Mm-hmm.
that takes you to a number of the places,
Okay.
locations where Ian
Yes.
Fleming purchased.
Yes,
So we thought
because
there is that you know aura of sophistication and elegance around
yes.
perfumes and hats and umbrellas. Why don't we tell the story from a female point of view? Why don't we
Ooh, I'd like that.
enhance? And we're working with, and that is there is a big NDA on that one, but we're working with a beautiful, beautiful palace in Oxford called Blenheim Palace, delivering something around those lines.
Funny enough, I was going to ask, one of the questions I was going to ask was, which organization would you be most excited to work with in the future?
Which organization?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
You know, like why you think, oh my God, I would love to work in partnership with this now, because your what you're doing has so much scope. It's crazy. It's incredible.
do you know what? The organization I'm looking forward to do something with, and it's because we are aiming to go into Paris
Ooh,
next
Paris.
year.
Paris,
So I would love to do
Paris.
something with the Moulin Rouge.
Oh my God.
Paris,
Voulez-vous avec
Paris,
ce
Paris.
Yes.
Paris has so many
Paris has a lot.
non-bridal
It's
aisle
really,
stories that you will
yes.
not believe. There is a lot more than just a cafe and a croissant.
And I can tell you something. I went to Paris a lot at one point, and there's stories. I can tell you stories about Paris. I have stories myself.
One of the
Oh
most
my God.
incredible stories is I remember in my years working for a tour operator, I went behind the scenes in one of the most famous shows in Paris in the evening, those, you know, Paris shows. And to find out that all the ladies that perform the shows are from the north of England.
What?
They're not French, and I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved the fact that those ladies were more French than anyone, and how they carry themselves with such a sophistication and class. I was so proud of it. And that's a piece of story that needs to be told.
Yes, that's an interesting one. I'll tell you.
I think France is proud to have them, and they are proud to present Paris, and that was amazing.
I'll tell you my story. I remembered there was because I love fashion, so there were some places where you could get some clothes retail, but they sell wholesale, but they sell, and Roos and Denny is one of them. So I didn't know Roos and Denny was a red light district. So of course, whenever I travel, I always have my camera. Yes. So I started snapping away at all. I still have photos. And I remember one of the people tottering after me, and I ran.
And it's so incredible funny. Because it's the most incredible fashion quarter.
Oh, but my God.
At the same time, it's I've got a friend who described it. You know, there is love on dressing and love on undressing.
I could not believe it. And I have photos to prove. I loved, because I loved fashion. So I used to really buy, you know, because you can say, oh yeah, you can buy one, you know, you can buy retail.
I tell you what, there is an incredible fashion exhibition that's coming to the UK that absolutely I would let you know, and it might be that we do our second chapter podcast.
Fantastic! That would be brilliant.
We can record it from that venue. You love
that
it.
Would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. So, what advice do you give to young up and coming creatives and people that want to do, want to go into, it might not be the same business, but something like this, which
Break
is
the
using
mold.
technology as well. What do you advise? How do they start?
Break the mold. Break the mold. But most important, which is what sometimes is almost frustrating to me, is that remember, the tech is there to serve the human, not the human to the tech.
Yes.
The idea is that if you create a product, whether it's a bank, whether it's an environmental product, whether it's a marketing tool, whatever it is, make sure that you embed it within. Don't try to make it the driving force of the project. Make it embedded, almost that it's not
so
there.
part of it, yeah.
Almost that
so
it's
seamless.
not there.
So seamless.
My bank app,
make it seamless.
my bank
Yes.
app is there to make my life easier.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about the app. The app doesn't need to be incredible. It needs to give me an incredible life. And that's what people need to remember. Tech is there to allow us to live incredible lives.
Okay, so when they are dreaming, dream and just, break the mold, look for new ideas.
Correct.
Because they've always said there's no new idea, but it's always said that, it's always like an idea that you can change, you can evolve, you can mold, So yeah, that's fantastic. So how do you manage your work-life balance as an entrepreneur?
What life? What life?
Because I know we talked about it before the interview, but I want you to say, so how do you manage your work-life balance?
I'm getting better at it. At the beginning, I guess I was at my age, I am not what you can call a young entrepreneur for a mile. So I wasn't used to those, that I guess the Gen Zs, the millennials already understood life in a very different way that my generation. So it took me a while to understand life first, and then to understand life in regards to work. So I think it's a bit better. I'm trying to take a few days off. I'm trying to take, it's not a pretty life, the life of an entrepreneur. I can tell you that. However, people tell you, people tell you about I'm my own boss. I do this, I do that. But it is extremely, extremely hard to do it. And one of the things that you are required is long hours. But if you are in love with what you do, and every day you wake up thinking about Winston Churchill or Mary Shelley or Miss Moneypenny, it's a lot easier to travel through that journey.
Yeah,
I enjoy thoroughly what I do. So
that's fantastic. So that makes up for it.
Exactly.
And I just wanted to point out the technology behind what the immersive experience is AI, isn't it? It's AI technology.
It's AI.
Yes.
It's AI
just for the audience to know.
Absolutely. So, it's AI meet, because there is a couple of brands out there that are trying to do AI. But if you do AI on his own, it's just AI.
Oh no. But you've made it into
for us, it's AI meet tradition. AI meet the story. It's about the feelings. AI is just the channel to deliver that feeling.
And of course, you write your scripts as well for the stories. You write you have scripts that you
know what is incredible with AI? We do not need to write it.
It generates
the
scripts.
Prompts. We prompt.
And
we choose what pieces of the story we want to tell, and we prompt AI to generate the story.
Fantastic. So you're there. So thank you so much, Anna. Now, how do you want the audience to reach out to you and Imagine Experiences? So if they want to know more about you, where can they find you?
Our site is imagineexperiences.com. Worst case scenario, just Google Bond Experience. Or I am in LinkedIn. Please reach out. There is a lot more to come. And we always love to hear from people. We always love to engage with people. It makes us, people is the reason we do what we do. So we build incredible product for our customers. And that's what it is. Yeah.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much. And we're definitely going to, I'm going to follow Anna on her journey. So we might have her to come here again in the future. Definitely. But thank you so much, Anna. That's
I
an
would love to,
incredible
Stella. I
experience.
could talk to you the whole day. I love you.
Oh, same here.
Your smile, your energy are absolutely, viral.
Same here. Same here.